Hi friends, it's Michelle with National Veteran Resources, and I'm so honored today. I have my friend Rico here with me, and Rico brought his service dog, who's always by his side, and his service dog is Rucker. We'll show some photos a little bit later. I'm wearing my headset today because I'm having so many issues with having to run the AC, so I'm hoping that it's going to drown out the noise. We're going to try something different today. So I have spent a little time with Rico. He shared his story with me. He's so inspiring to me, and I'm just so honored to meet Rico, and we have a message that we want to share. So, oh boy, it's Shella's barking because she can't get by Rucker, so look at her, she's having a fit. So this is what happens all the time. So Rico, what would you like to tell our audience? I understand that you were in the Marines, and then you joined the Army.
With the 11-year break of service from the Marine Corps, and then I ended up in the Army, 2 years in the reserves. And then the summer of 2001, I went active duty and was medically retired back in 2016, December 1st. So it's about 20 years almost total service of it.
It's incredible service. And I understand you were wounded, unfortunately. And
For folks that are out there that they see, they don't understand, there's two types of being wounded. You have the actual amputees, someone who's lost an eye, lost a leg or two, an arm, but they also forget the other wound is the invisible wounds that we suffer from, and which is PTSD, traumatic brain injury, our anxiety and depression. That all kicks in to one, and we're not, prepped when we get out to handle that and deal with this kind of stuff. We have to figure it out on our own, and a lot of times, like I have last year, even before that, I've tried to commit suicide 3 times last year and before that. And the thing with suicide prevention that's happening right now with a lot of different organizations besides you doing what you're doing, which is great stuff, we have to admit to ourselves that we have an issue, we have a problem. That's the first step to getting help. And then going to the programs, finding programs that are going to help us with our PTSD, with our anxiety, our depression, and our traumatic brain injury issues, besides the injuries that we have sustained through our military career with our necks, shoulders, backs, or whatever. Go through the programs and admit that you need the help, and let those programs help you, and work the programs that they give you a tool to use to deal with your everyday mental health, especially with your mental health and your health. And if you're into service dogs or want a service dog, I would recommend another veteran who's thinking, because having a service dog really helped me get back to the things that I like to do, that I used to do. I was in that dark place before I got him, when I was in that state of mind of not wanting to be here, because I was at home all day, didn't go nowhere until I had an appointment to the VA. Now I go to my VA appointments, or I go to Wounded Warrior events, because I'm a Wounded Warrior alumni. I've been an alumni since 2012. I get out walking with Rucker at night. Rucker is my service dog that I got back in May through an organization called Canines for Warriors. I had another dog at home. I have her at home. It did work with her. She wanted to be more of a pet, but you also have to have that support from your family,
right?
To distinguish, so the dog can focus on you,
Right.
not being a family dog.
That's got to be really hard.
It was really hard for the boys and the wife and stuff, and the family. But finding Canines for Warriors from another veteran that was at the VA, I got the information from them, and I looked them up online, did some research, and then I got in touch with them. My class wasn't supposed to start till I think this October or January of 2020.
Oh.
So they called me up early and said there was an opening in May.
Wow.
So I jumped on it and went there for 3 weeks. They take care of you They pay for you to be in there. They pay for your lunch. They give you a card, like a debit card looking gift card. So every time we go out in the morning for training with the service dog, when we're training, we go to lunch. When we do go to lunch, we use that gift card that they give us. When we're at the facility, they have volunteers in the community that cook dinner for us. So we get all this homemade food and desserts
Wow.
and stuff from the community. The house moms are awesome. They make sure if you want something special, they'll go get it for you at the supermarket. They won't get it's no drinking, no tobacco. If you're a smoker, you have to get your own get your own cigarettes and power drinks and stuff like that. But it's non-alcoholic environment. They'll get you if you're into chocolate milk, if you're into regular tea or certain coffee.
What did you have going on behind you?
What's going on? Yeah. They'll get it for you, you know. So it's a great program. I'm glad I found them.
I'm so glad you found
I'm
them.
glad I got Rucker now, and he's been a blessing and helps me get around more and get out more. You know, get back into fishing and going back out in the woods and shooting guns and stuff like that.
That's so incredible. You must feel so much better.
I feel a lot better. I mean, a little bit more confident. You know, not thinking about things that I used to think about. You know, in the back of my head. That I
And he
used to.
can tell, right?
Yeah, he can tell.
I could tell he could tell.
Rucker can tell whenever I get emotional. Rucker can tell when I get like the change in my voice and my body language. He can tell, and he'll start getting in my face, trying to jump up, give me a hug, and start licking me. Give me those kisses.
So, he's your best friend.
He's my battle buddy, is what I call him.
He's your battle buddy.
Yeah.
Does he sleep with you?
No, he's not allowed on the bed.
Oh. I got that rule too.
Yeah. So he's got
But
his
he's always
bed,
nearby.
but he's nearby in his bed.
Yeah.
He's got his own bed near me, where he knows whenever, like this past 4th of July,
Yeah.
the fireworks were going off at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I jumped out of bed really fast. I was in a nice sleep,
Yeah.
but he saw me roll out of bed on the ground, looking for cover, looking for my hand, searching for a weapon, and he just jumped up. He saw how I was and came to me and started kissing me and getting on my lap to calm me down.
It's incredible. My dog, she doesn't listen at all, as you can see. She has to be the center of attention.
Center of attention.
So, you 150% know that Rucker has been a godsend to you and life-saving.
Yes.
And so what I told Rico is so many of you guys, you men and women, have heard about service dogs and what they can do for you. You know, you may be at that point where it's time for you to look into it. And there's many, many programs out there. Rico was successful with Canines for Warriors. Am I saying that right?
Canines for Warriors.
Warriors. I also have relationships with a few other amazing organizations out there that provide the training. You had great things to say, nothing but great things to say.
Canines for Warriors pairs you with a dog. They have a dog that's ready for you when you do the intense interview, the phone interviews, the application, and they talk to you. And even when you get there that Monday morning, they still talk to you to see what type of dog they're going to pair you up with. All the dogs are rescue dogs. They're trained to be service dogs. Owner surrenders, they take in, they train them to be service dogs. Puppy program that they have, that they raise puppies to be service dogs. These dogs are ready for us to get when we get there. It's just that we have to have the confidence, which I didn't. It still was in my head and not wanting to go into stores, but they help us.
He led you.
They help us go into the store and be in the store a little bit longer than just going in. Come
Just
out.
so we can show Rucker.
Here he is. Here's Rucker.
You're a good boy.
He got up because he started hearing my voice change a little bit.
Yeah, he did. You guys couldn't see that, but he got up because we were talking about something that's emotional to you. And he knew, didn't he?
Yep.
Rucker, you good boy? Yeah.
There you go, Papa.
Look, somebody knocking on your door.
But yeah, I would recommend any of us service members that are out there that are going through what I've been going through and what I went through, to look into getting a service dog to help you. You know,
And I agree.
going into a store, I would just go in. If I did go to the stores, I'd go in and got what I needed and walked right out. Now with Rucker, we walk around a little bit longer. If I go to Walmart, if I go to the mall, I didn't like being around crowded places.
Right.
I still go. We went to a concert that the Big Red Barn Retreat held this year at a park. So he was out there with me. There was a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
So he was with me, and he helped me, be calm and whatnot while I was there. I still do the 360-degree looking around everywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much you try to stop doing that.
There he is.
But
Yeah. We love you, best buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
my boy. But I've had other programs that's helped me. You just got to go out there and go help yourself.
That was just his tail.
Yep. Help yourself.
I thought someone was knocking on. So would you say out of every service you've tried, every resource that you've gone to, that having Rucker, would you say he's the best thing that's happened as far as all your resources and tools?
Yes.
Guys, if you want more information, as you know, I'm getting resources all over the country, and having a service dog, I have heard hundreds of stories, and I truly believe that if you can apply at any of these various organizations, that it's going to help you so much. And
Believe me, guys, I didn't believe it until it happened. I was very, very skeptical when I was going through the program when I first got there. Is this actually going to work? Is this going to help me? And by the time I graduated and came home with them, it has.
3 months.
Yep.
Just 3 months. Can you imagine in a year, 2 years, 3 years?
Right. And a lot of people think that he and I have been together longer than 3 months.
Because of the way you interact, it really looks like you have been.
Yes.
And he really listens to your commands. I'm quite impressed. As you saw, my dog doesn't listen for nothing. So I have kept Rico a very long time. The news reporters came out, so we're going to have a news story done together. And I have another veteran, also he's a paramedic, waiting to speak to me. And I have about 5 VFW members out there waiting to speak to me. So I think I told Rico that together we are going to make such a big difference. And our message today is, first you have to recognize that you have a problem, right? That's the first step.
That's the first step.
And you need to hear of these programs that offer service dog. Service dogs, there's many different out there. I know of a few amazing ones, so contact me. And I want to thank you so much, Rico. This couldn't be easy. You've never met me.
Mm-hmm.
But you've been following me and you saw what I did, and you trusted me enough to sit with you and share your story with me and share Rucker with me, and that means so much to me. And I told you got my cell phone number, giving my cell phone number, you need anything, I'm here for you. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming to see me today.
Thank you for having me and setting this up.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. God bless. Thank you for all your love and support. And thanks for following me. Bye-bye.